I would say the most serious problem that public universities are facing budgetarily wise is the fact that the appropriated funds from the state, our general revenue, which for Northern Illinois is about $100 million a year out of a $400 million budget, are slow in coming for our reimbursements. And what that means is that we have to use other funds like tuition to meet payroll, which for Northern Illinois is about $9 to $10 million every 2 weeks. And the state, we're receiving some payments, but right now we're owed $60 million on a $100 million base, and we have we have 3 months left in the fiscal year. And so this creates a lot of concern, and we probably haven't, if we got no more money from the state, we technically run out of money about April 15th.
How do the payments work? Is it every month? Is it based on some sort of a quarter system? I know that they do 4 state aid payments to elementary schools. How do they do it for higher ed?
It's complex. The short answer is, but we file vouchers to the state, and then they're supposed to pay those, and the vouchers don't get paid. So we will issue vouchers to those people we owe money, and then hope the state pays them.
What do you hear when you talk with lawmakers? I mean, I haven't been to committee yet, but in the past, they've got to be sympathetic, but...
Yes, they're very sympathetic, but I spent the last couple of days talking to senators and representatives, and I do feel for them. They have a major budget and fiscal issue confronting them, and right now there is not the funds to pay these bills, and so they're working. Obviously, the big picture is they've got a revenue increase. Now they're working through budget cuts, and they're working through other measures, economy measures, bonding perhaps to do a one-time payoff of bills. I think all those things are in play. From the university's perspective, we're going to be, making the case for our students so that we can continue to, enroll students and graduate them up in 4 years so they can go on to jobs.
Is it, there are no good answers, and everybody can wish for all they want. Is it that if the state made whole and got you the $60 million but didn't give you a revenue increase, or if they cut you, how can you see this working out? What are the solutions?
Right.
What are the options? Outside of not paying you what you're already owed and then cutting you.
Well, I mean, obviously, sometimes I say facetiously, we do not have a budget problem. We have a cash flow problem. The governor put forth a budget that is basically a flat budget from last year. We did not ask for an increase, and I am not asking for an increase. I don't expect an increase. But if we were able to get the money that we were appropriated, we will be able to make it through and get some certainty back into the system. So for 2 years, we've been living payroll to payroll.
Is this going to cost students more? Fees go up every year. Is there going to be a tuition hike? I know that it's frozen for each class, but if I'm a parent of a high school student, is it going to be that much more expensive?
Well, for the past decade across this country, tuition rates have risen, not dollar for dollar, but in reaction to the fact that states have withdrawn their traditional subsidy and support for public higher education. There's no way that tuition increases can replace dollar for dollar. We do have truth in tuition in Illinois, which is a good thing. It means that for 4 or 5 years, or really 9 semesters, what you're going to pay. And so even if one raises, say, tuition year on year by 7%, what that is that we have to figure, what is it going to take in terms of dollars to educate a student over 9 semesters? And so really what that is less than the CPI in any given year. And we worry about things like inflation. So we haven't set our fees yet. I expect there'll be some increases. I believe that our increases are to the point that it is beginning to hurt middle class and working class families. And that's of great concern to me.
One last budget question and one question on coal hall, and we'll let you get out of here. It is getting really expensive for, I don't know if I could go through college again know what it costs now, and I went to Illinois State. When you have parents who are trying to afford this, and then you see professors making six figures, and the U of I probably gives everybody a bad rap because they've got some really well-paid professors. But it just, you know, from a perspective of people who are out there,
Yeah.
why should I care if you fire 5 or 6 professors or cut back on payroll? You know,
Well,
is
the
it really
costs
that
of
worse of an education?
the cost of a public higher education has gone up in real dollars, and parents and students have had to bear some of the increases for that, or a large portion of it. You know, being a working class person myself who benefited from public education, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I'm really so proud to be president of NIU. I think, even though it is costly, it is still a very good investment for the future of a young person. I'm very concerned in the proposed cuts in Pell Grants at the federal level, that we haven't expanded MAP money in the state, which makes it possible for bright kids who have need to go. The bottom line, I don't think you can blame universities or a few very distinguished professors who are funding their research at several $100,000 a year and hiring 20 or 30 people. I think that's what's happened is that the states and the federal government have backed off their long-term commitment to help our next generation get a great post-secondary education.
Last question, then I'll let you get to the
Yeah.
Cole Hall, where are we?
Yeah.
Where's all of the renovation, and how soon before we can go back up there and write the good stories?
Yeah. We just passed our 3rd anniversary of that terrible February 14th day in 2008, and I'm pleased to say that Governor Quinn, legislature, has supported our $10 million. It's really a refacing and a repurposing. There'll be a new lecture hall. The lecture hall where the shooting took place, it was going to be turned into other uses. It will not be instructional. Putting a new face on it and building a new classroom. And still there are many students and professors and others who you know, are concerned that maybe we should not have, you know, renovated it. But I think we've done the right thing, and we're going to be, we're doing construction work right now, and we'll be ready to put it in service, if not early fall, mid-fall.